I wanted to make it a fun ride, but there's a real human core here.
It's the kind of film with something at the heart of it.
It's more than an action film, and it's got a great story and great characters.
It's a very powerful story.
What I wanted to do was I wanted to create a facility, make it like a private sector corporation, but it's heavily funded by the government for their military projects.
Centerville's the biggest set on the film. What we've ended up doing is build this massive composite set that comprises what would ordinarily have been on separate stages and join them all up to make one massive one.
And I said, instead of having these broken up in different sets on different stages, I just want it all to kind of connect. We built it at the Boeing plant. It's the largest set I've ever shot on. I was actually intimidated to shoot on it because it was 5 football fields long.
Michael was very interested in having a strong, clean-edged look. The inside environment of the clone village or city takes part of its cue from the fact that it's a converted military underground bunker.
Michael was keen to have this look to Centerville for this secret place underground so that it was a credible and believable place that could have been designed by the military to house all these people and have them self-sufficient with their water and their electric supply. There's a couple of different looks that we've applied to the whole subterranean world, and now and then trying to sort of keep the military aspect to it.
It's kind of like a Big Brother place. They watch over you. It's very Zen-like, the whole design of the facility.
Go on.
In the product extraction room, that's the set where they're taking the agnate that's been gestating in this sack, and they're slicing it open. For the environment to help tell the story, we were given the idea of an abattoir, which means slaughterhouse.
The birthing room should be like a beautiful place to be, and we've tried to show that no, this is actually a production line, it's a factory.
Come on, breathe.
I wanted the birthing process to be done by truck drivers. I just wanted to feel mundane and disgusting.
All of the equipment is hanging from the ceilings, and the way the guys are dressed, with their rubber gloves.
It's just another job. Just some desert rat lives out there and just cuts these sacks open every day.
So, how's 3, Hilo?
Good.
Looks like we have a fine product. Tag him and chip the foundation.
We have a very fluid camera move that starts off in this sort of birthing room, and it's a big camera shot that follows this arm swing around through this hole in the wall, and then the camera starts spiraling down this really tall set that's going to be mostly digital, and then at the bottom is our real set. Once we're in there, we see that there's all these agnates, we're calling them, in various stages of development, and there's going to be about 40 of them. And the camera continues through these cables into the Department of Operations, which is where inadvertently Lincoln and the rest of the clones are working.
The lifeblood of the facility is going through the hands, unwittingly, of the clones they're creating themselves.
What are we doing here?
They say we're feeding the nutrient lines.
Where do these tubes go?
Michael wanted to have lots of pipes and fluids passing through this set. The most concise way of doing that is to try to keep all the pipes on the same level. But then when you start to apply logic to it, well, how are we going to get people working around these? Then the logical thing seemed to be to cut them into the floor and have them recessed like that.
We've got sets like what we call the foundation room, where the clones are all in the position of having to learn how to be human beings and implanted memories that they're getting. And this was a complex set.
What I tried to achieve there was an enormous cavernous space that was really not about walls or floors or anything architectural. So it's a big black environment, and then the center point of this is this nest of beds.
We had 80 of these setups, 20 of them for deep background, and 60 of them could be seen right up close, and 4 of them were very much ready for close-up. That took us basically 5 months to build all that.
The first time you walked on that, we see all those component elements together for the first time. It was fantastic.
It was just astounding. It's going to be one of the most astounding scenes ever shot.
Here we go. Run!
look good, huh?
He has a really strong visual sense, and he knows what he wants.
His work is extraordinary. You do your best stuff, and you come away looking at those action sequences, and you see that he's great at what he does.
When you know that Michael Bay has done a movie, I will go just for that. I'm an action person. I'd go just because I like car chasing and things blowing up and crashing and guys fighting. I like that aspect.
The first week is the most important week to set the entire pace for the crew.
And action!
So I get to the set the first day, no hellos. I'm like, I walk right to a camera position. I'm like, put a camera here, put a camera here, put a camera here. Let's put a camera over there. Let's get a camera over there. So there's 5 cameras. And the camera department goes, we only have 1 camera bill. I said, dude, if you're gonna work with me, do you need more people? It was kind of a planned little thing, you know, just to show, like, this is the way the movie's going.
This has been a pretty energetic show for us, especially working with our favorite director, Michael Bay. So we, you know going in, it's not gonna be a picnic.
I had a fantastic crew on this. We were flying around different places, and it was tough.
He was just always thinking of something new to do.
He's just constantly on the move, and it's amazing how much he gets done in a day.
If he's waiting for that light, then he'll shoot something over here that he can light.
Even to the last sunball going down, I had guys running up the hill with me. I'm like, let's go, let's get this done.
There are a great many creative people in the world who are a nightmare to be around, and with Michael, he's not a nightmare. He's Michael Bay.
I really have had a nice experience with Michael. He's very friendly and funny and crazy.
He's very expressive and he's very passionate, but also very charming and funny guy.
Look at that. You see that again? Look at that.
Michael, in a lot of ways, is a big old kid.
People think I fly by the seat of my pants, but I don't. I have my game plan, and I switch it up when I find something cooler.
Do it again, one more time.
He's a perfectionist, and you can see what he's trying to achieve here. And he throws in things here and there, keeps people on their toes.
I like to keep it free form, and I shoot fast enough so that we can do extra takes and improv certain things.
So on this, we've gotten to play around a little bit. I like that he's not so rigid. You feel like you're, sort of making it up as you go along.
We gotta go, okay? These are friends of mine. They're from, hey, yo! Hey! No, you, hey, sweetheart. They're from out of town.
It's good for us to be working at that kind of pace. It's easier. Keeps your energy up and your focus up.
No other director would even consider doing what we did. And that's what makes it work. All the movies that we've worked on with Michael, 90% of the stuff that we do, nobody would attempt to do that. Michael Bay is just the opposite. No, we are gonna do that.
Yeah, I mean, I will put myself in the dangerous camera positions. I like to operate camera. I love to operate camera when I'm doing action. It's a dangerous business sometimes. I pride myself on shooting fast with action. Those days we shoot action, I am just burnt after, just exhausted, because I don't sit down, I don't stop. They're fun days.
That should be good.
I'm sorry, I'm not ready to die.
Me neither.
Go, go, go! I'll shoot you! Stop the car! No! Yes! No!
Michael and I will collaborate and try to come up with ideas, try to come up with icons. We want to give the audience the ride they deserve. We want to give them something that's fresh. Most of the shots that we do when we're working on Michael's films are shots that are in motion. And whether we use an insert car or whether we use a dolly track or we're using a crane.
We did a really, really great scene in Detroit.
Let's go.
Put your hands up! Just do what they say.
The 2 principal actors are handcuffed in the back of the police car. So Michael has to figure out a way to get them out of that police car. Well, what better way to do that than have the armored car hit it?
From the moment that armored car, clobbers in the side of that police car and rips it in half, the attitude of the whole film changes at that point.
Go!
the action is up and running and the chase is on.
Every time we do a show, the stunt guys are continually improving on the way to get spectacular shots.
Targets are under the train wheels.
Silently, take them out!
I can't fix! I can't fix!
I was actually driving behind this truck that was loaded up with train wheels. I'm like, God, it's very dangerous to be driving on the road. And I'm like, This is right when we were in the writing process. So I'm like, okay, I think that could be a scene. We threw a lot of wheels off that weighed, I think, 500 pounds instead of the normal 1 ton of what they normally weigh.
Came up with this pickup truck. Instead of building the roll cage inside the car or the truck, we built it outside of the truck to protect it and the cameras. And we literally would run into cars and flip them over and just couldn't do enough damage. And so they've called it the Bay Bomber now, and we use the Bay Bomber in every movie now.
Do the Lucky 8. Should we do the Lucky 8 ball?
It's a pickup truck with an external roll cage. And that roll cage means that we can mount cameras on the vehicle and we can crash right into other vehicles that are overturning and flipping in the air, so you can actually become part of the action.
On the truck that has all the train wheels on it, there's also a layer of trench plate, and then there was another layer of train wheels. And Michael wanted these trench plates to come off. So what you'll see in the movie is you'll see a trench plate coming at camera, at a car. For that shot, all we had to do, when we wanted to ram through it, we used a radio control car. We took a piece of trench plate and we set it out in the middle of the freeway. Weighs about 3,000 pounds. We used 2 of them, so that's 6,000 pound object that's just standing up like a playing card. And this radio controlled car hit it going about 75 miles an hour. And it literally just split that car apart.
And the camera's actually behind a cage and you're ramming cars. And Mike likes wrecking stuff, and I kind of like wrecking stuff too, so that's what we do best.
We were on a 50-story building right on the ledge, and we had the letter R literally over the building with Scarlett and Ewing inside, and we're turning this R over. And they're literally looking down 50 stories. On the screen, you're going to see that that's not a blue screen shot. That's live. That's them turning over with the helicopters going by.
Hang on, it's coming off the building.
That's a one-shot deal. I mean, dropping that R with that amount of damage, we rigged for that for 10 days.
The only way to really bring it down was with explosives.
Hit that scaffolding with like 10, 12,000 pounds. There's not a rehearsal on some of those gags. You don't have take 2.
We started off with dropping a helicopter. The helicopter is actually blowing up 70 stories up, so there's a lot of debris involved. Let's don't just drop a helicopter. Let's make sure that it's spinning as it's coming down.
Ewan and Scarlett are exposed to a lot of the elements. They're running up and down stairs, over metal grates. They have cameras swinging at them. They're ducking, they're diving, they're running, they're jumping, they're falling. They're wet, they're dry, they're dirty, they're crawling. I mean, there's no escape.
No!
I tell actors, I said, you better work out because you're going to work hard, you're going to run hard, and you're going to have some bumps and bruises. When you do action, you really want to get the actors in there. You got to get a little dirty to make it real.
You still think there's an island?